Good morning, pilgrims. Today we're going to talk a little bit about backpack transport. Um, I've heard a lot of opinions about backpack transport, and I remember the very first time that I walked the Camino, I carried my pack every step of the way, and I had heard that that's what real pilgrims do. A little bit after Porto Moran, I stopped for breakfast, and I saw several um, pilgrims carrying little tiny day packs. And I wondered to myself, where are their backpacks? They must not be real pilgrims. I laugh now because that was such a judgmental thing of me to think and say. But a lot of people think that. The fact is, it's just not true. From the very beginning, people have hired wagons or trucks or donkeys or whatever to carry their packs. It is not mandatory that you carry your pack. Now, that said, there are some albergues who will not admit you if you're using backpack transport. One of those that I can think of off the top of my head is Guaselmo in Rabanal del Camino. So if you're going to use backpack transport, you need to make sure that the place you're going to stay will accept you if you have not carried your backpack. But most places will, and most places will accept the bags. So how does it work? Well, first of all, the cost just depends on which route you're walking and how many bags you have. I use Camino Fácil. I have used them for years and years and years. I love them. They're easy to work with. They have a nice website where you can go. They carry bags for the Camino Frances, the Camino Portuguese, the Camino Inglés, the Sanabris, and the Primitivo. You can get on their website and put in your stages, and they'll tell you the prices right then and there. You can make changes and cancellations, but be careful because if you modify them within a certain amount of time, you're going to pay a processing fee. So be responsible and be aware that that does matter. If you don't know where you're going to be and you just want to book as you go, you can do that. Camino Fácil will pick up your bags in most places. Also, there's Jacotrans, which people really love. Some people use Correos, which is basically the post office. I haven't used it. I can't tell you anything about it. And then as you get closer to Santiago, like from Sarria, there are a lot of companies that will take your bags from Sarria to Santiago on the stages, and it costs a little bit less money. But I like Camino Fácil, and so that's what we're going to talk about. If you don't want to book ahead because you don't know where you're going to be staying, most albergues will have a little pile of envelopes. There'll be envelopes for Camino Fácil, for Jacotrans, and for any other transport companies that are picking up bags. Well, what you do is you pick up the envelope, you fill it out, you put your cash inside, and you attach it to your bag. And whether or not the hospital area needs to call them or not, I don't know. It depends on the place that you're staying. So that's your responsibility. Don't just leave your bag there. Make sure they know that they're coming to pick it up. It may mean that you need to email them or call them. But what you'll do on your envelope is you'll put down your destination, the name of your hotel or your albergue, your name, your email address and phone number, and then you put your money in and attach it to your bag. And they go. Most of the time they have to be out early in the morning, usually between 7 and 8 a.m. If you miss the pickup, you miss the pickup, and your bag won't be where you want it to be. So get your bag out there early if you're going to use bag transport. It's really convenient for me. With my groups, I just offer backpack transport. Some people will carry a day pack, and then they'll send their regular backpack along in the transport. Another option is to carry your regular backpack if it fits you really well. And in Pamplona or one of the larger cities, you can go to a China store and pick up a bag. And I'll post a picture of it up here. Cheap for under €5. That will hold pretty much everything in your backpack, and you can put all the things that you don't need for the day in that and transport it, and then wear your backpack. I would not put anything in my pack for transport that I can't afford to lose. So I don't put my phone there, I don't put my computer I don't put jewelry, my passport, money, credit cards, anything like that. Not because I don't trust the transport companies, because I do. They have businesses to run. They're not going to steal your stuff. But the bags that are ready for transport are sitting out in a public place, usually in the lobby of the hotel or the albergue, and they don't hire someone to sit there and watch them. So it is possible that someone could get into your backpack and steal something. So I don't put any electronics or anything that I can't afford to replace in there. Just my sleeping bag, my clothes, all my heavy stuff that I don't want to pack with me along the way every day. If you're using backpack transport, I suggest that you spray the outside of your pack with permethrin, because that's one way that bed bugs are spread along the Camino. If someone has bed bugs in their pack and their pack's next to yours, it's really possible for a bed bug to walk right over and get into your pack. So I just spray the outside of my pack with permethrin, or buy a bag. You can buy special bags that you carry backpacks on the airplane in. I think Amazon has them. And you can maybe spray one of those and put your pack in there, or put it in a black garbage bag. But I mean, it's not as big of an issue as it is bed bugs where you're sleeping, but it does happen. So if you're worried about it, spray the outside of your bag with permethrin. And I buy in the United States Sawyer's permethrin. I just get it on Amazon, and one bottle of that will last me for years. So if you don't have Amazon, or you don't want to get a big bottle of Sawyer's, you can also check veterinarian stores or farm stores. A lot of times they'll have little bottles of permethrin. Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that. Gardening shops often have small bottles of permethrin that you can use. So I think that's about it for backpack transport. It's wonderful. The prices range. It depends on how many packs you're taking. If you're only taking one pack, you might pay 6 to 7 euros per stage. If you've got a group, they'll cut you a deal, like 5 or more pieces of luggage is only 5.5 euros per piece and stage. So it just depends. If you're in a group, it's going to cost you less, especially if you book ahead. If you are looking for backpack transport from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to Roncesvalles, you'll need to get in touch with Express Bourreau in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. You can either do this ahead of time, or you can do it when you get there. I believe their office is right next door, or at least just a few doors down from the Pilgrim office there on the main street in St. Jean. I will put their email address up here, or their website if I can find it. They're probably not there right now. This is dead of winter. You may have to wait a couple of months and book it when it comes closer to time for your trip. But they run a shuttle up and down, up and down, up and down. They also run a shuttle to and from Orison. So if you cannot get this is off the topic of backpack transport, but if you cannot get lodging in Orison or in Borda, and you only want to walk as far as Orison, and then the next day go on to Roncesvalles, you can book with Express Bourreau. They will pick you up at Orison, bring you back down to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. You spend a second night in St. John. Next morning, Express Bourreau would take you up to Orison, and then you can just walk on over. So that's another option with them. And also, I forgot to mention that Camino Fácil, and I'm not sure about Jacotrans, but I know Camino Fácil does have taxi service also. So you can hire a taxi if you need to get from Santiago Airport to Sarria, for instance, if you're walking Sarria to Santiago, or if you need to get from Pamplona to St. Jean and you don't want to ride the bus, or for some reason you can't get the bus, they have taxi service. It is not cheap, but it is there, and it is an option. And it's a long trip, so it's about an hour and a half from Pamplona to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port with taxi. So, I think they may charge 140. I'm not sure. You'll have to check, but just know that it is an option, and you can get on their website and ask questions. They're really friendly. They speak English. So that's it about taxi. Also, as with all taxis in Spain, when you pay for a taxi, you pay for the taxi, not per person. So that 140 euros could be split between 3 or 4 pilgrims and be a lot less money. So if you can find other people to take your taxi with you, You can go on your own time and the cost is a lot less. Last thing I just found out is that they will not pick up bags at the Roncesvalles albergue. If you're going to use backpack transport from there, from Roncesvalles, you will have to take your bags to Casa Sabina, and they'll pick them up there. I mean, it's a short 3-minute walk, so you can do that. Okay, let's keep going. If you have any questions, list them below, but I think that's about it on backpack transport. It sure makes walking nice when you don't have to carry that heavy backpack, and you are no less a pilgrim. If anyone tells you you have to carry your backpack and you're not a pilgrim because you're not carrying your backpack, here's what I want you to do. Give them the hand. Give them the hand. It's crazy. It's none of their business how you walk your Camino. It's your Camino. Make it comfortable for yourself. If you want to carry your pack, carry it. If you don't, hire backpack transport. Okay, buen camino.